Number 1. Chrysler Sebring Convertible, 2001 to 2010. This was Chrysler trying to sell Florida energy in a mid-size convertible. Problem is, everything about this car sucked. Under the hood, either a 2.7-litre V6 known for sludging itself to death, or a 2.4-litre four-cylinder that wheezed like it had asthma. The automatic trans shifted like it was guessing. Suspension, floaty in the worst way, and build quality, pure plastic graveyard. But the real kicker, the top. The seals failed constantly. You'd get wind noise, water leaks, and the occasional mold colony growing in the back seat. It tried to be affordable luxury, but it ended up being the default rental for people who didn't get to choose. This car didn't say top-down freedom. It screamed, "I gave up." Number 2, Dodge Caliber, 2007 to 2012. The Caliber was Chrysler's big swing at the hatchback market, and it missed like it was blindfolded. They said it had crossover versatility. What it really had was a buzzy CVT that droned like a leaf blower, suspension tuning from a shopping cart, and an interior made entirely from injection-molded disappointment. The base models felt like poverty on wheels. The dash flexed when you touched it. The steering had zero feel. And the engine, no torque until you floored it, then all noise, no go. They even made an SRT4 version, 285 horsepower in a front drive box. Sounds fun until you torque steered into a ditch and realized the brakes were budget grade. It wasn't sporty, it wasn't practical, it was just bad. Number 3, Chrysler Aspen, 2007 to 2009. This was Chrysler's idea of a luxury SUV. Translation? Slap chrome on a Dodge Durango, raise the price, and hope nobody notices. But we noticed, because it still rode like a truck, handled like a cruise ship, and drank gas like it had a personal vendetta against your wallet. You'd get a plush-ish interior and optional Hemi power, but paired with awful MPG and a resale value that fell off a cliff by year 3. It launched during the financial crisis, when people were literally trying to get rid of full-size SUVs, and Chrysler said, "Let's make one more, but uglier." It's one of those cars that disappeared quietly, and honestly, no one missed it. Number 4, PT Cruiser Convertible, 2005 to 2008. You thought the regular PT Cruiser was bad. Imagine cutting the roof off and making it even heavier, less rigid, and somehow more cursed. That's what Chrysler did with the convertible. It looked like a bathtub on wheels. The rear visibility was non-existent. The blind spots were criminal. The convertible top was noisy, prone to failure, and leaked like a cracked garden hose. Every bump made the chassis twist. It felt like the body was trying to peel itself apart. Add in the same underpowered four-cylinder engines from the regular PT, and you've got a car that was ugly, slow, and structurally unstable. Triple threat. There's a reason these things are now parked behind gas stations and trailer parks. Even PT diehards won't defend this one. Number 5, Dodge Nitro, 2007 to 2011. If you wanted a Jeep Liberty, but uglier and worse to drive, good news, Dodge had you covered. The Nitro looked like it was designed by a 7-year-old with a ruler and a box of crayons. It tried to scream urban tough, but everything about it was wrong. Harsh ride, terrible steering, and an interior that looked durable but fell apart at 60,000 miles. And then there's the handling. This SUV didn't corner, it leaned, it wallowed, it protested. Despite the chunky styling, it wasn't good off-road, and on the road, it was just awkward, slow, and exhausting. People bought it thinking they were getting a small Durango. What they got was a plastic headache with wheel gap. Number 6, Chrysler TC by Maserati, 1989 to 1991. On paper, Chrysler plus Maserati sounds wild. In reality, this was a LeBaron in a Gucci suit with none of the charm. It took 6 years to develop this Italian-American luxury roadster. What came out was front-wheel drive, a turbo 4-cylinder, a weird removable hardtop, and the most confused identity crisis in car history. It was meant to be a Mercedes SL competitor, but it ended up competing with its own LeBaron for thousands more. They sold about 7,300 units, which is 7,000 more than they should have. Nothing about this car made sense. It's the automotive equivalent of someone showing up to prom in a tuxedo t-shirt. Number 7. Dodge Journey, 2009 to 2020. This thing somehow lasted over a decade without a real update. And every year, it reminded buyers just how far behind Chrysler was. It had a 4-speed automatic in 2019, a touchscreen that lagged like it ran on dial-up, and handling that made minivans feel sporty. Build quality? Weak. Materials? Discount bin. Driving experience? Like sitting on a soggy couch during a thunderstorm. It sold well, but only because it was cheap and big, two things dealers love to push on unsuspecting families. If you ever rented one, you probably remember two things: how slow it was, and how glad you were to return it. Number 8. Chrysler Cirrus, 1995 to 2000. Part of Chrysler's cab-forward era, the Cirrus looked futuristic when it dropped. But under the surface, it was just a ticking time bomb. You got weird proportions, tight engine bays, and transmissions that died for sport. The 2.5-litre V6 was smooth when it ran, but that wasn't often. Electrical issues, cracked dashboards, and random stalling were all part of the Cirrus starter pack. It tried to be upscale, but the interior felt like the waiting room at a 1990s dental office. Nothing fit right, everything creaked. And if the car didn't break, the paint would flake off, just to remind you who built it. Number 9. Dodge Dakota Convertible, 1989 to 1991. Yes, Chrysler really made a convertible pickup. And no, it didn't make any sense. The Dodge Dakota Convertible was a half idea wrapped in a marketing experiment. Take a regular pickup, cut off the roof, add a soft top that barely sealed. Result, a truck that couldn't tow, couldn't haul, and couldn't keep water out. The chassis flexed like a noodle. The ride was sketchy, and driving it in the rain meant praying for the leaks to miss your pants. Nobody asked for this, and nobody bought it. They made just over 4,000 before pulling the plug, and even that was too many. Number 10. Chrysler Crossfire, 2004 to 2008. It had a Mercedes SLK platform, rear-wheel drive, and coupe styling. But Chrysler managed to mess it all up. The Crossfire had massive blind spots, a rock-hard ride, a dated interior that already felt 10 years old when it launched. The rear end looked melted, the spoiler was a gimmick, and the SRT6 version had real power, but zero handling refinement. It was priced like a premium sports car, but drove like an afterthought. People wanted something sleek and German. What they got was Chrysler's take on close enough. Today, they're cheap on Craigslist, and even cheaper at car meets when you say you own one. Chrysler's made some icons, but these were the Hall of Shame. Proof that even big brands can swing and miss hard. And if you want to see what happens when cheap power meets no skill, check out why Mustang drivers can't exit a car meet without crashing. Trust me, once you've seen a Mustang eat a curb in slow motion, you'll never park near the exit again.